Hello guys, welcome to another vlog, and today we're going to talk about water, or rather the scarcity of water. So yeah, water. So water is a necessity, a basic necessity for every human being to survive here on Earth. But according to studies, 2/3 of the population of the world will suffer from acute scarcity of water by the year 2025, which brings us back to my town, Ukhrul Town, which is a small town with a population of around 30,000 people, but we suffer from acute scarcity of water for 3 months every year. Now, suffering from scarcity of water for 3 months in a year, it's not such a big deal, and it's not so severe for so many people, but for a small town like my town, and taking into consideration all the climatic conditions and the type of vegetation that we have, the environment and the ecosystem that we have, it's quite strange that we have 3 months of acute shortage of water. And I looked it up online and found that we have a precipitation rate of 1,616 millimeters in a year. We receive that much amount of rainfall, which is almost the double of the average precipitation of rain received in land areas of the world. So is it down to the people of my town not being literate enough about the conservation of water, or is it down to the authorities who have not taken proper measures to make sure that we don't suffer from scarcity of water every year? So one of the main sources of water for people in my town is spring waters from small ponds like this, because we don't get access to pipelines, and almost 90% of the people from my town do not have access to pipelines. So this is how we collect water, and during winter the spring ponds always dry up to a trickle, and we have to wait for the trickle to fill up a small part of the pond, and then to fill up our buckets and our pots. Alright, so that was the first spring pond that we went, and we're going to another spring pond, and from what we've heard, the rate of trickle of the spring pond is much slower than the first one that we went, and it's gonna take at least 10 to 15 minutes for her to fill out that bucket. And put it into this perspective, there's going to be around 50 to 70 households in this locality alone, and each household will need a minimum of maybe 3 to 5 buckets in a day. That easily makes around 200 buckets of water in a day. And imagine the time it will take up to fill up all those 200 buckets from that small trickle, and imagine the time lost for those people who come and wait for this water. So then let's speak hypothetically. I'm saying hypothetically, I'm not proving or stating any facts here. So according to the census of 2011, Ukhrul Town has an approximate household population of 5,500 households. So that's quite a big amount, and take out 500 of those households as households that are self-sufficient in water, where they have ponds, where they have spring ponds, or where they have wells of their own. So that leaves 5,000 households where there isn't any source of water to themselves, and they have to rely on the water that's supplied from the pipeline, or water that they get from the spring ponds that they have in their locality. And among those 5,000 households, everyone is going to be waiting for water every day. 5,000 of those people are going to be waiting for water every day, and take out 3,000 of those people as students. So it's hard for the students, because January, February, March is one of the time when board exams are around and they have to study, but they can't at the same time, because they have to get water from the spring ponds to for daily use. So that's important. And what about the other 2,000 people that are left out? Let's do some math here. Let's say that those 2,000 people are either skilled or unskilled workers, but they are workers. So there is 2,000 people, and each family spends an average of maybe 3 hours of, waiting for water from this spring pond. So let's say 2,000 of those people waiting for water are either skilled or unskilled workers, and let's say the average wage of each of those people waiting for water, each of those 2,000 people waiting for water every day is maybe 100 rupees per hour. So each family spends, an average, this is the bare minimum that they spend 3 hours a day waiting for water. So calculate 3 hours, 2,000 people, that's $6,000 into 100 rupees, that's 6 lakhs a day. And it's the bare minimum. We are losing 6 lakhs a day waiting for water every day. And why? Maybe the reason is we don't, we're not, really educated on the conservation of water, because water is not something that's very scarce in our place. It's not like Ukhrul town is like an arid region where we don't receive rainfall for almost all the year, because we receive a good amount of rainfall for almost throughout the year. It's only through this 3 months of January, February and March that we don't receive the normal amount of rainfall that we received during the other parts of the year. So is it down to us being not literate enough about conservation of water? Because the amount of water that is wasted, the amount of water that is lost during the monsoons is massive. And maybe if we can educate ourselves more with the conservation of water, maybe then we can save these 6 lakhs that we're losing every day. So maybe if we can put more effort, maybe if we can put more cash, or maybe if we can put more money into ways to save water and ways to supply people with water during these scarce months of January, February and March, during where we are hit with one of the worst scarcity of water in our town. Maybe we can revert all this scarcity of water that we have here, and maybe that can help us save a huge amount of money every year. Please let me know in the comment sections below what you would do to save water during the monsoon seasons, so that we can have abundance of water. Not abundance maybe, but we wouldn't face scarcity, acute scarcity of water during these 3 first months of the year. So if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you press the subscribe button, and next week is going to be another exciting content where I'm going to